Ethereum Classic currently sits at about $79 per coin. This is $2 above our major level at $77. So we have to go over the technical analysis as well as the crypto news, because there is quite a bit of crypto news from Mark Cuban investing in Polygon and Elon Musk talking to the Bitcoin miners and what insight those Bitcoin miners CEOs are going to give us as to what was said in those conversations. Now, we also have to go over ETC's Twitter and go over their hash rate and a bunch of other key factors, because everything does look very, very promising for ETC, and especially going into this massive crypto bull run that I do see unfolding right in front of our eyes. With the intro out the way, you guys already know the deal. Tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button, whatever you want to call it, but make it turn blue, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and especially if you love ETC just as much as we do, this is a perfect fit for you. Now, there's also a Patreon link down below where I send out all of my buy and sell alerts, so check that out, as well as get up to $70 in whatever free stock of your choosing. 2-minute sign up, no deposit necessary, get your free stock instantly. The link is in the description, and that is for public. Now, let's get into ETC. Like I said, ETC is currently at about $79. It's really bouncing in between this low $79 and mid $78. Currently at $78.94, going up a little bit right now, and this is actually a very good thing, because one, we are above our $77 price point that I've been pointing out on this channel as a key support and consolidation level to make our next move up. We've been over this for quite a while, only dipping under it for a brief period today, twice today actually, but for the most part we have been above this $77 price target for most of the day. Now, once we do breach past the $80 level, it looks like we are clear to go to about $95, and the $80 should serve as a solid support. $77 is a weird support level, but that is currently what we are seeing, and that is really a consolidation level leading into a higher support level. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, you want to go through it with us. The technical analysis will be closer to the end, but you will definitely not be disappointed. Now, I do also want to talk about how Carl Icahn says he may get into cryptocurrencies in a big way. It says activist investor Carl Icahn is interested in getting into cryptocurrencies in a big way, in quotes, and may eventually put more than $1 billion into an alternative cryptocurrency. He says he hasn't bought any cryptocurrency yet. The billionaire investor said in a Bloomberg TV interview that he studies Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the crypto sector as a whole to determine where the opportunities are. And that is definitely key here, because where are the opportunities? If you want to invest in Ethereum, you're going to get a better return on your investment as far as a percentage basis with Ethereum Classic. And we have went over that many times on this channel. That is just a simple fact. It is going to be a lot easier for ETC to double at its current $10 billion market cap, go to $20 billion market cap, then Ethereum Classic go from a $350 billion market cap to a $700 billion market cap. That is just how these things do work. He also does go on to say that alternative currencies are gaining popularity as a natural manifestation so I had to think about that word, manifestation of inflation in the economy. He added exactly what we've been talking about as well on this channel, that cryptocurrency is a great hedge against inflation. No matter what news articles you hear that cryptos are not a hedge against inflation, what else do you invest in? Do you buy bonds that give you a 1.7% yield and inflation's 3, 4, 5, 6%? No. The only thing is real estate. Even a safe dividend paying stock like Coca-Cola that's going to pay you 3%, you're still going to be underwater if inflation is in the mid-range to higher end range of analyst, predictions for it going into the next couple of years. So the only thing that really makes sense is real estate and cryptocurrencies. I've been pointing that out many times on this channel, so this is not new news if you have been on this channel before, but this is good that investors, especially billionaire investors, are getting interested in the cryptocurrency space and ultimately will benefit ETC immensely. We did get news late last night that Mark Cuban invested in Polygon. Now, this is especially bullish for ETC because I do think if a lot of these investors covered ETC like I do and we do on this channel, that they would know that ETC is essentially unhackable. A lot of people have this false narrative in their mind that ETC is the crypto that gets hacked, and that is simply not the case anymore. We will not see these hacks given the hash rate is so high and there's so many people mining it, and the fact that they implemented MES, and we're not going to go into all of these different things that they have done, but they have done a lot in late 2020. So we are essentially in the baby stage of Ethereum Classic being a true player in the altcoin field. And I do think if a lot of these investors did break it down the same way we do, they would feel like ETC was worthy of their capital. Not too much was actually said about Mark Cuban's investment in Polygon. He wouldn't even specify how much he actually invested, but I do think it's a significant amount since he's worth about $5 billion, right? So let's take a look at what the dialogue was like between Elon Musk and Marathon Digital Holdings CEO, because we all know about the news lines that came out, how Elon was talking to different CEOs of Bitcoin mining companies or just crypto mining companies in general. And the question was, can you tell us what happened on that call and perhaps what role Elon Musk played too? He says, I think the call's purpose really was to help Elon understand really how power is used by the Bitcoin mining industry and that Bitcoin mining industry's commitment to using carbon neutral power. Overall, our footprint will be 70% carbon neutral, so we're excited to come out and be able to move a majority of our fleet to carbon neutral and looking forward over the course of the next year to reach 100% overall. And then they do say, do you think he was confused about what you guys do or what the implications of what you do beforehand? He just says, no, he's a very intelligent man. Obviously, that's the same old. Just goes on to talk about China's crackdown on Bitcoin miners. He's saying that a lot of them are trying to go over shores as well, and basically how Bitcoin mining is like the #1 revenue generator going into the future. So nothing too crazy there as well. That is kind of the sentiment behind it. I do expect more updates as far as, you know, what Elon actually said or what he thinks about the whole thing after interviewing different CEOs and talking to them. So that will be updated, you know, here shortly, hopefully. Something else I found very interesting scrolling through Twitter and Ethereum Classic's main Twitter page, their verified Twitter page, came across this picture. It says May 25th coin of the day, and that is Ethereum Classic. And this post does say Ethereum Classic is coin of the day for May 25th, 2021. 24-hour highlights. What did I do? Galaxy score 72 out of 100. Alt rank 2 out of 2,184. Price, it was $74.64, up 18.86%. Yeah, we know that. And then this is where it really gets interesting. 1,613 social mentions, up 16.71%. 2,016,762 social engagements, up 47.22%. And then 79 average hourly social contributors, up 23.44%. So we're obviously seeing a huge social expansion of ETC, and that is what you need to drive the share price up. Now, it is good for us investors right now to buy into this before that happens, because once that really does, you know, ETC becomes more known and more widespread how good it is, it'll definitely go up in price. So you won't be able to get as much bang for your buck per se. But this was posted 49 minutes ago, also by Ethereum Classic's main Twitter page. It says, not only does ETC ascend to new highs in price, but nearly every meaningful metric, including hash rate, new active accounts, daily transactions, social activity, and much more. And it just goes on to show the hash rate and where the current price is and how they, you know, pretty much correlate with each other. Taking a look at the current hash rate, now that we just talked about the hash rate, it is at 25.43 TH/s. So basically, if you don't know what the hash rate is or what that means, is just how many miners are mining ETC. What's the competition like? And the higher, the better. You'll see Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're the highest. They're much higher. That also gives the network, the blockchain, the most security. So to get a 51% hack or just hack the Ethereum blockchain, you need 51% of the mining power. So it was a lot easier to hack ETC even in April when it was only 13/TH TH/S. Now it's, you know, about 25.43 TH/S. So it's essentially even double as hard to, you know, attack ETC right now. And I really shouldn't call it a hack because it's just an attack. ETC's, you know, code has never been changed or been able to be hacked, but they just, you know, double spend when they do attack the blockchain. But they need 51%, like we just said, and that's essentially gonna be impossible at this point. You're gonna need a huge operation dedicated to mine Ethereum Classic, and we're just not gonna see that as of right now. But it is, you know, flatlined out. You do get these little dips, but it always keeps coming back. So this is something, if you're an Ethereum Classic investor, you'll definitely want to keep mindful of. If it does start to plummet as the price stays the same, that's definitely something you'll want to pay attention to. That would definitely not be a good thing. But if the price does continue to go up and we see more people start to mine ETC, you know, you wouldn't mine ETC if you thought it was going to be worth less in the future. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from so I don't have to fully break it down. I could probably make a whole video about it, but that is essentially what is happening right now. All does look good with ETC's hash rate. Now to the ETC technical analysis, and it does look very good as well. We can see first thing that, you know, sticks out in my mind when I look at this is that the 50-day moving average did break above the 200-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average is at $67.53. 50-day moving average is currently at, what are we at, $78? $78, yeah, right where we are right now. So that is definitely a good thing, and that does signify a bullish run maybe forming. And even on the RSI, we are pretty much in the middle, so we're not signifying it's overbought or oversold, and we can kind of see that just how we've been consolidating so hard. And this is the key level that I've been pointing out. This $76 level is super, super key here. This is where, after the first bad news that we got, we did bounce up to this level, really consolidated hard right here, and then sold off all the way down to $39.87 when a lot of people thought ETC was doomed forever, and that was simply not the case. So congratulations if you were buying the dip just like I was and averaging down in your positions. Now, we are firmly in between the $77 mark, and we have been consolidating here for pretty much the past 2 days, going as low as $71 and then as high as about $83. So it's been a tight range for the past couple of days. And like I said in the beginning, if we do break out above this, if we do start to get a nice leg up on some good volume, it looks like we'll be clear to go to about $95 before we get any kind of resistance. That is our first level where we were consolidating and then started to sell off back here May 18th, and we have not seen that ever since. So this does look very good. It looks like a stair-step pattern is forming, but we have been consolidating here for quite a while. But I mean, we could go up, we could go down at this point. It's really a coin flip, but it does look really, really good. A slight bullish trend line, and I'll just mark it right here so we can come back and look at this in the future. It's just very, very slight. It's kind of hard to notice, but that is just pointing out us hitting higher highs. But our higher highs are like 50 cent increments, so it's not too significant there. But the MACD is really, really throwing me off right now. The CCC line is below the signal line, so traditionally that would signal a bearish downtrend maybe starting, and we could see a decent amount of outflows, but we are staying the same, so that is pretty bullish, seeing the outflows and just consolidating in between the price range. But this happened yesterday. This happened at about, you know, early morning yesterday, and we have just continued to slightly creep up pretty much hour after hour, but that's where we did, you know, go into bearish territory. So it's kind of a coin flip here. There is, you know, good indicators going on. There's bad indicators going on, or somewhat bearish indicators going on. But it does look good, and I do think the future of ETC is very, very, very good, especially since we've seen the sell-off and literally bounce so fast. That was only 3 days ago. We were at $39.87 as the low, and we only wicked this. We only touched this for a brief period, but we really stayed at about the 45 to, you know, mid 50s level after we did have that just massive sell-off pretty much within like 20 minutes. So if you were able to buy the dip right there, you're your position is looking very, very nice. I wasn't even personally able to. I tried to get filled, but it filled me at like the 50s, the low 50s. So that is that. It does look good. I do think we'll go to about 95 in this next upcoming week. If we don't, we could consolidate out sideways, but given everything we have talked about in this video, I don't see that as actually happening. But we could come back down, and as far as where our support level would be if we did start to crater right here, it's going to be about $60. And if we go to about $60, we should see a decent level of buyers coming in that'll help stabilize the price around 60. So it does look good overall. I do see us going up from here, not going down, but that is also a possibility. And that is why I say, if you are not willing to lose 90% or willing to 10x your position, don't invest in ETC. If you are going to try to scalp this, probably not the best idea unless you have very good emotions. And that's the key thing here. You don't want to sell out when it's down 25% and then it goes up 25% the next day, and then you buy back in, you sell out once it goes down 10% the next day. That is a bad habit. Don't get the FOMO. If you sell out of it, just sell out of it and never look at it ever again. So I really don't try to influence your guys' decision in these videos because I don't want anybody to lose money, and it really comes down to the psychological, impacts of investing and what that does to somebody. So just take what I say as a grain of salt. Really come to your own research or conclusions and do your own research and due diligence. That is going to wrap up this video. If you guys got anything useful out of it, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and check out the links down below in the description. Be prepared, never scared, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Take care.